welcome to another edition of BeerAmerica.tv. And for those of you just joining us, welcome. For those of you who've been here, welcome back. I'm Paul Leone with John Pinkerton. Sweet, dude. What are you wearing?
I thought you wanted me to get my inner beer freak on.
Yeah, no.
That's what we talked about, right?
Yeah, that's what, I guess, yeah. Sweet.
Well, I feel good about it.
You're comfortable with yourself.
John, what on earth are you wearing?
Oh my God. I feel pretty good about it.
Huh? What?
You guys don't like it?
You choose your choices. That's all I'm saying. I picked it out.
All right, fine.
Well, I guess following through with the inner beer freak theme, tis the season, I should say, for Oktoberfest beers, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And
does that have to do with your inner beer freak?
I don't know. You know, I'm trying to distract myself at this point. And
is my Wookiee hair turning you on?
Exactly. You got a carpet under that thing or something. But
dude, you're wearing a sweater.
Anyway, so today we've got Dundee Oktoberfest beer from High Falls Brewing Company in Rochester, New York. We have done a cream ale before, and so today I thought, their Oktoberfest, which I have had before. Have you had this before?
Again.
Hey.
Everybody had such disdain for my apparel choice.
It's pretty quick, by the way.
Oh, I'm like Superman.
Yeah, nice.
In certain ways.
Nice. I don't want to know about it. I don't think they do either. But
it's like a Wookiee in a pink tank top.
So Dundee Oktoberfest, we've done the Jenny Cream before from High Falls Brewing Company. I have had this beer before. You?
I have not.
You have not. This is a really easy drinking beer, I thought. And I thought, as far as we've done pumpkin ales, as you've seen in the past, and if you haven't, check out the past episodes. We've done a series of pumpkin ales, but, the fun doesn't stop there. Oktoberfest beers are usually, on the market as well. So I don't, it's a seasonal beer. And again, it's a good cold weather beer. And it's brewed in the traditional Marzen style, German Marzen style of brewing, which is basically beers that are brewed in the early months, in the cooler months, and in March, and stored because they don't brew in the summer months. And correct me if I'm wrong. And then broken out after they're stored in cool caves or lagered, or pick up.
Back in the old days.
The old days.
Before there was refrigeration.
Right.
Exactly. Lagering could only be achieved in cool places, at least in the warmer months, in caves, underground.
Because brewing really wasn't done in the summertime.
Well,
or not much. It was just harder.
You can be certain that
in those days, in the old days.
In the old days. Back when I was a boy. Actually, you can be certain that they were brewing all the time. I think really what it boils down to is, like, certain times of the year, the beers were good.
Yeah.
And certain times they were really rough. Yeah.
So these were saved for the non-rough times and brought out of the caves, in the fall months. And so it's brewed in the German Marzen style. So if you see the word Marzen, that's kind of what it stands for, correct? That these are seasonal beers.
Yeah, interchangeable with Vienna, and to a lesser extent, Oktoberfest style. Sometimes all three of these terms are used interchangeably, but there are some slight distinctions there. But they all kind of fit a broader general category of fairly malty lager beers. The Oktoberfest style specifically has kind of evolved over the years. Nowadays, if you go to, and I've never been, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass here, but if you go to Oktoberfest now, what I understand, the beers available as Oktoberfest are now closer to Pils than they are to traditional Oktoberfest.
So a lighter style.
They've gotten a little bit lighter. But I think that the signature quality is a snappy, malty character.
Yeah.
A little bit fuller body. Well, at least relative to a Pils, anyways.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, German beers don't have a lot of hoppiness,
right.
Hop flavor. When I use the word hoppy or hoppiness, I'm talking about hop flavor as opposed to bitterness. which is specifically about the bitter quality of the beer. And they're usually kind of like moderate to slightly high-end bitter quality, but it all comes back to that balance again. It's like you wouldn't necessarily perceive it as being particularly bitter because it does have a nice full,
Right.
Sweet malty body.
Sure. And that's what I'm getting with this. I mean, you and I have kind of been talking about, the Marzen style and the maltiness, and that's what I get from this, don't you? And I get it kind of a clean, dry finish with it. To me, when I first had this, and I'm been very familiar with the Dundee beers, having been from Rochester, New York, where they're brewed, and so this is not, their beers are not new to me, but the one key is that it's very easy to drink for me. For me, this is a very easy drinking beer.
Yeah, clearly these guys have gone for the easy drinking end of the spectrum. I mean, just my own opinion.
Yes.
I might like a little bit more, malt snap, a little bit more bitterness there for a traditional
Right.
Oktoberfest. But this is a nice beer. Like you say, it's easy to drink. I mean, it's very palatable.
And you could call it a good transition beer too. I guess somebody who likes some of those other beers, who doesn't like a good craft beer, I think that this one might be an easy one to migrate to on an October.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You could probably, like every brew pub out there, like us. I mean, we have beers that range in different styles, and we always have at least one beer that we can kind of go to as our what we call training wheel beer. You got to have a beer that kind of.
But that's not to say that it's not a good beer or a complex beer. There's not a lot put into it.
It's not a diss,
right.
At all. But it's one of those beers that it kind of, if you're a light beer drinker, this might be more approachable than
Right.
going straight to imperial stout.
And I think there's a lot to be said for the easy drinking beers. We've talked about beers in the past that are big beers, extreme beers, strong ales, that sort of thing, which we're going to be talking about. And there's a place for those, but I'm also a big fan of the beer that's just enjoyable to drink. And it's only 5.5% alcohol, so it's not over the top. It's something you can have a few of. And I kind of really enjoy it for an Oktoberfest beer. I mean, it's a good seasonal in my opinion. Yeah?
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. So before we leave here, I like the black better than the pink. But what do you got here?
I was going to give props to my friends at Brewers Network.
Okay.
When I was out at the JBF in Denver, Colorado, we got to sit down with these guys and do a little live podcast with them, and they're all set up like a real radio station and everything. It was a lot of fun, and those guys are great. They're super dedicated to craft brewing and what we do. So. Just wanted to give a shout out to these guys. And,
Props to them. So what is that, a pine cone or is that a...
Well, this would be sort of like a hop.
Oh, a hop leaf.
It's sort of like a hop cone
I get it,
/
I get it.
hand grenade
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I get it. I thought you would kind of...
Oh,
cut me off at the
Captain
knees.
Literal. Yeah, my bad.
So there you go, another edition and episode of BeerAmerica.tv. If you have any questions or comments whatsoever, feel free to email Paul at BeerAmerica.tv or Pink, or not Pink, but yeah, Pink at BeerAmerica.tv. Any questions or comments at all, we'd love to hear from you. Definitely love to hear from you. So for BeerAmerica.tv, cheers.
Cheers.